held prisoner.
Fucking Fabio, bro.
It's
fucking Nosferatu.
Dark's about to.
What is this, dog?
He's about to announce the outbreak of measles is spreading through the.
Hello, I'm calling from a ship, and tonight I want to talk about my raspy voice and how to make people sad with depressing movies.
Who's behind the camera?
My voice is not raspy. My voice is normal.
He's gonna come out with like a Romanian accent
Make
or something.
me
It's gonna be
explain.
crazy. That's crazy. You just picked that as your title?
Had to.
Wow,
My favorite part.
boy.
I don't have a
Wow,
title. I
boy.
just have a name.
I can't even say make. Oh my god, that's. I'm calling the police on that one. Watch.
Welcome in, everybody. Welcome.
Yeah, welcome to
Nope.
the Three Grandmas podcast, yapping about movies. We've got a guest this week, finally. We've got another guest. It's been a while, I feel like, since we've had a guest.
It's been a while. Mm-hmm.
You know, we've been around the bend a little bit, we're doing our own thing, and then we brought the big guns in again. We've had him on this show, I think. Is this your fourth appearance, Dark?
No, this is my second appearance as a guest.
It is not your... Oh, as a guest.
As a guest.
It is.
Oh,
As
like
yes,
that.
to specify. Yes, to specify.
I'm sorry. Wait, what? We start?
Because I was supposed to... Can I mention as well, I was supposed to do this particular movie reveal about a year ago, actually, almost to the day. And Pragpro cancelled it. So we finally got...
He's bringing it up.
We finally got...
He's bringing out the dirty laundry.
We finally got...
Wow.
Yeah, I
You
did.
want to comment on that, Prag? You want to comment?
What month was that?
I'll fucking do it again.
That was about...
I'll do it tonight, too,
About
if
a
you
month later.
Yeah, well, I guess, and you know what? Everything worked out, so I'm glad
It was
you're
a different
here.
time.
And one of my favorite episodes about Three Grandmas, I'm going to turn this to a positive, is my special episode that me and Dark did, Solo Dolo, for Nymphomaniac 1 and 2. If ladies are in the chat and
Wasn't JC
you
there?
are... What?
Wasn't
I was
JC
there.
there?
JC was there.
Oh,
No, JC was
Okay, I
barely there.
Wait a minute.
And
was
me
it?
and
What?
Dark are two international lovers chopping it up, explaining what was what and like how women see the world and how to make love to them. And like
I
JC
thought
was
that movie was terrible.
We got
hosting.
the sexpert in.
But wasn't that a
This is
4
Dark
hour?
That
Didn't we
movie
make like a
was terrible.
3-hour episode? Like
It was
every time we come together, there's like
Because the
long
movie was
episodes.
4 hours, 4.5 hours long.
Yeah,
This
I
is
know.
why I'll tell you one
It's
thing.
too
When we
much.
made Three Grandmas initially, the first thing I said as a joke, Nymphomaniac, everyone was like, "No, it's never
One of
going
the
to
first ones,
happen."
yeah.
And guess what? It happened.
It happened, and we
It
did it.
happened.
Well, the other thing is, we also had Dark on for Titanic, and the reason that review went on for so long is because last time, Dark, you went on a full deconstruction on on how the boat works and like all of
Because
this. You
it's
went for about
important
half
and
an hour
integral
talking
Yeah,
about
he's
it.
smart. He knows stuff.
understanding the
Yeah,
movie.
girl to the story.
To the story, yeah.
It is.
It was good.
The
It was
movie,
content.
half of the entire movie is about sinking of the ship. So
Yeah.
I want to point out is this the group? Is this the original four right here? The four.
The
Is
fuck
this the
monsters.
boys?
The four monsters.
Incorporated.
Is
Fuck
this
Monsters
it?
Incorporated.
Is this it? Lance isn't.
The
No, it's
Pickle
not.
Boys.
The Pickle
No,
Boys,
because
yeah.
me and JC predate and Dark predate you time. Like,
Yeah,
no,
but then-
it's
but
the
then I-
three amigos.
but
There's
then
no
I-
four piece.
I came to
No,
complete
you're
it.
not in the
I
original
completed it.
band, dog.
I
No, you're like
completed it.
a replacement.
You guys needed a drummer, and then I came in, and
No, we
that
didn't.
rounded out
Right.
the sound.
That's what you
Yeah.
don't get.
I was
I'm
tuned
leaving.
into Dark when
Fuck
he was
you guys.
playing
I'm leaving.
Oblivion.
JC and I almost
separate
never-
to you guys.
JC and I fought the first day we met
JC
in
was
Lance's
a
chat. Me and
Yeah, I
JC
thought
went
you were-
fucking head to
I thought you were
head.
an arsehole. Well, I literally
Who?
thought you were an arsehole.
Me?
Prag when I first met
Oh,
him.
he is. What do you mean?
Preposterous.
everyone
No,
thinks.
he's a
everyone
nice
thinks
What do
that
you
way,
mean?
right?
He's a nice
And that here we all are, and now we have 100 episodes of this beautiful
Look
show.
at it
So
now.
someone has to be the fucking weirdo some days.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Welcome.
I
do
and
it.
Also,
I know
two
what
of
my
the
boys
Zomboys-
need, and I give it to you, and I put it in your mouth, and you eat it, and you love it.
We're gonna have the third
Okay.
Zomboy on the show soon. But yeah, me and Dark, original Zomboys. But Dark, you picked
Yeah,
a
there's
movie
no
this
Zomboy.
week that I had never heard of. Please explain yourself.
No one has.
I'm surprised. It's a classic New Zealand film with a classic New Zealand actor, Tim Morrison, of course. And
Boba Fett.
I think it's a movie everyone should watch. It's definitely definitely up there in terms of underrated movies, in my opinion.
Yeah, is this a movie you grew up with?
Yeah, what was this like when it came out of New Zealand? It must have been heavy duty stuff. Like, there's a lot of issues that this churns up to the surface, right?
It is often discussed in like school, as like a look into, I think what is it, like 80s South Auckland, sort of life in South Auckland around the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, there's movies like there's
more
movies
than that, Joe, right?
Yeah,
because it's like ripping off a bandage on a particular subsection of society.
It deals with a lot of subjects that still exist
taboos
in New Zealand today, especially in South Auckland.
That exist everywhere, and everywhere.
Institutionalized poverty,
yes,
institutionalized racism,
alcohol,
institutionalized
violence.
domestic violence, stuff like that, which is all still very common in New Zealand, which people don't know when they look at New Zealand from an outside point of view, and they don't realize that underneath everything there is a very different. A lot of New Zealanders have grown up very differently to the idealized, way people view it.
Yeah, it's really interesting because while watching this movie, it reminded me a lot of films from Australia that I've seen that I would have seen in high school. Like, there's a movie called The Black Balloon, which is all about like suburban poverty. There's a movie called Looking for Brandy, which is all about the kind of
that's a beautiful
Italian culture.
Movie. I love that. I love that book. I read it in high school as well, and it was really good.
I don't know that one. That sounds very interesting.
Yeah, it's all about like the Italian subculture in Australia, and there's also Samson and Delilah, which is a very, very heartfelt love story. That's all about like the undercurrent of the Aboriginal society in Australia. It's there's a lot of movies like this that kind of dive.
I'll tell you a movie
into,
in the United States that's like this. It's called The Burning Bed, and that's when Farrah Fawcett sets that motherfucker's bed on fire, and it was a true story. And it shows the abuse and all, and but she actually did light him on fire in the bed. And then there's also that Billy Bob Thornton movie with who's that actress? I can't recall her name right now. That was about like, this is the thing. This movie, it kind of shocks you when the initial domestic, like, intense violence begins, right? Because like, if you don't know what this movie is going to bring, then you're not really ready for it, because they really don't portray stuff like that very often in entertainment. You know what I'm saying? Did that jolted me awake? It was
no.
Didn't bother you. Just another day in the streets.
Like, just a heart rate didn't raise like a single beat. My God.
Do you know why?
Are you being genuine or not?
Do you know why?
Why, Tone?
Nope.
Because Dark spoiled that scene for me at the beginning when he punches her in the face.
What do you mean?
Dark showed me
How
that
did
scene,
he spoil it?
He showed it to me like 2 years ago, and he's like, "Oh, check this out." And then I forgot what we're talking about.
But
and I was like, "I go, what are we watching?" And then he's like, "It's from a movie," and I'm like, "What the fuck?"
Jesus,
so I was shocked then, but now,
that makes
further in the movie, the stuff that happens is like, oh my God.
Yeah. Well, obviously, there are certain things you saw that are even worse than that scene, and you probably even more shocked.
She should have listened the first time.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm glad that it was that visceral and real, so people can't fucking pretend that's not what it's fucking like. And so that people can say, oh, people love to just, like, if something's not around to think about, they just ignore it and it doesn't exist. But this is something that is fucking plagues not only the poor and the middle class, but the wealthy. And like, this is a major issue.
Less so than in the wealthy. I think this movie makes it.
I don't believe JC. I'll tell you what. No. They do the same shit. They do the same shit, but they cover it up.
This culture, though, like, poverty breeds this culture.
Well, the money gives you choices to move, right?
Yeah, but it also gives you mental health services.
I think
absolutely, that's a choice, right? It gives you options.
Is that even though the specific type of domestic abuse is more common amongst a poorer, socioeconomic background, it's not so much that a richer person doesn't experience these. It's just in a different way.
In different
And,
contexts.
you know, there are other movies that explore the ideas behind
as well.
Mental abuse.
You know,
there's all kinds of ways to abuse your lover.
More mental focused as opposed to just straight violence.
Absolutely. Control, like all the money manipulation, all the fucking things you can do to people do to each other.
Yeah.
And it's born from lack of self-esteem, right? Usually. And they feel oppressed by the whole ocean of the world. And so they can control this little part of it. And that makes them somehow feel better. I don't understand the mentality. It to me, it's just like the worst part of humanity is when somebody betrays the trust of somebody who's weaker than them in any regard. If it's intellectually, if it's physically, if it's whatever the thing. And because it never turns out right. It never benefits the person doing it. Right. It never 100%. Is. It's just like, it's almost like a mutation of sociology, right? Like we're meant to work in collective groups and, you know, since we evolved from the savannah. And like, this is just like a weird mutation as society grows where like the people who are closest to each other always do the most damage.
I want to say when you picked this movie and, you know, I didn't look up like what the plot is. I don't like to do that, but I looked up just the poster. I thought this was a sports movie. I thought it was going to be like a boxing MMA fighting movie or something.
I mean,
this was not
rugby.
That at all.
Kind of.
Well, you wanted a rugby celebration?
Well, I mean, there was a bit of MMA there, but I don't think the other opponent.
No, this was not the movie. This was not the movie I was expecting.
I thought about equality. I guess not. I guess not about equality anymore.
I mean, when I said that this was the movie that, like, I watched this with my mom and dad, and when I said this was the movie we had to watch for this week, my mom was like, "Oh, I haven't seen that, but I've heard it's like it says some pretty bad stuff about Maori men," and my dad was like, "Oh, I don't know if I want to watch this," and I was like, "Oh no, what have I got myself into?" Because he had seen it, but no, we watched it, and yeah, this was shocking. I found it very, very uncomfortable to watch, especially like Tamora Morrison's character. I found to be just one of the. Can I say he's one of the
Jake?
most? Jake. He's one of the most despicable characters.
Jake. Can we get an L in chat for Jake, please? Even if you don't know who he is, it's a fucking villain. I mean,
he's got to be one of the most despicable characters ever.
No redeeming qualities.
Yeah, I see. It's an interesting point you pull up, JC, because like your parents' reaction to saying, "Oh, we've heard it." It shows.
My dad had seen it. And he was like,
"Bad light."
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
You know, that's forgetting the fact that quite a lot of Maori men in the movie are portrayed in a good light, like the person who takes Boogie under his wing, you know, and helps learn how to be a positive role model. So it's one of those things where even Nig, the oldest son, who ends up, you know, turning and changing from what he saw violence was causing in his family and being more protective of his mother as opposed to just leaving them all alone. Thing. At the
There's
end,
some great character arcs in this movie.
Do the Maori community approve of this movie?
Well, it is genuinely regarded as quite a good film in
right?
New Zealand.
They're not mad or anything.
Oh no, it's not. It's never done in a. And that's the thing with this movie is, it's the actors are Maori people. The director is Maori himself. Like it was never meant to show it as a Maori.
It's not exploitation. It's not like
it's just this is what we have had to deal with.
This is a real
in
issue.
our part of the world.
I imagine this film.
So I think that's what makes it so good. Is it doesn't point out the fact of Maori culture bad, or it's just this is the culture.
But I can see people spin it for their own. I can see some people try to spin this movie for their own agenda, even though that was never the intent. But that's not the fault of the people who made it. And people can do that about anything. People can always send a bad message.
and the actual Maori culture itself, is shown in a very good light, in terms of the elders and the marae
Yeah,
and the people
Sure.
who are not in sort of Jake the Musk's world
yeah,
are shown in a good light, as well as even the mentor,
yeah.
who
And
tries to pull back a lot of these young boys who are lost to the more traditional ways and the more back to being more Maori as opposed to being
Well, they're
what
untreated
Jake the Bus has
alcoholics,
turned
is what
into.
it is. They're all untreated alcoholics. Because if you drink like that, you're diagnosed. That's clinical alcoholism. And like, this is the thing. Like, when they're sober, they're probably not making as many bad choices. But when they get fucking blind, then they're blind. And like, and I think this creates this feedback loop, and then the shame spiral begins, because they may do one or two things and it keeps getting worse and worse in their lives, and then they might as well go down the whole rabbit hole. They feel because they don't think there's a way to change.
The whole drinking aspect of the movie reminded me a lot of Wake in Fright, that we reviewed not long ago. Like, the kind of just the way that it like is so permeated through like mal culture. Yeah, but it's also like a ritual, right?
Years.
Like it's a daily ritual that they
always at the pub, always going to a party.
Yeah, it's like a social conditioning that.
It's a self-medication, though. What it really is a self-medication too, because like they're like locked in stasis. There's no movement. There's no goal that you would go to reach for, and you keep making steps and you cheat because there's this permean, and like this is very common in working class society, because like it's hard labor. Because even though Jake was on the dole, there's a lot of men who are working probably, and they feel they deserve to, at the end of the day, because it's a lot of brutal work, right? And so that's a thing. So like we have to just recognize it for what it is too, and like acknowledge it.
Well, it's like a good question I have for everyone individually is, when you were first watching the first few scenes of the film where it's establishing the location, the main actress is walking through the city, and she's looking at different, essentially different scenes in the city. You've got, her looking at her son lifting weights, who you didn't really know was her son at the time, and just like going through the city and seeing how life is like. What was your initial thoughts of what the movie would be like compared to what the movie turned into?
Well, I thought it would be a lot more lighthearted than it turned out to be. I
didn't expect. I thought they would be like a dad's trying, and they're all trying. It's like Good Times, right? The TV series where everyone essentially is a good person.
I was feeling like, I don't know if you've seen In the Heights, which is like a musical movie about is it the Bronx? So it's the Heights in New York.
Yeah, I know that
area. Yeah, I thought it was going to be like a celebration of that kind of culture, like just from the intro. That's how it kind of felt. Also, White Man Can't Jump. Like, I know that poster was in the background, but it did give me those vibes as well. Like, just kind of, obviously there's some issues that White Men Can't Jump goes through, but like, again, it's still a celebration of kind of like black culture and basketball culture.
And this movie did a great job of displaying the culture in that regard. And
I just didn't think this movie would go as dark as it does, because I
had no idea that was going to be crazy like that. But not even that scene. It's the graping scene as well. That's fucking rough. And it's just a lot of sadness. Just like watching people drink like that too makes me sad. It's just like a lot of this stuff makes me sad.
But I think the domestic violence and the domestic abuse scenes were horrifying. But the part that really got to me was the next day, and like I'm seeing the bruises on her face, and like the makeup
they feel trapped.
Was crazy, and she can't go to her son's bloody court case because she can't show up with bruises on her face, because then they'll take her
That's the
away.
definition of dysfunction.
It's just awful. It's like, what can she do? And like constantly, it's like you keep asking, like, what can she do? It really feels like a situation that she can't get out of.
He could kill her with the wrong, like he's hitting the shit out of her, and like he could easily kill her. Like she could knock her head or just kill her straight up with a punch. So like, the amount of courage she illustrates the whole thing when he knows that's like the beatings are coming is crazy, right? That she maintains her spirit and her self-esteem enough to push back. And like a lot of people, when they get abused, they just fucking shrink away and their spirit dies and then they become controlled, right? And so I thought that was really good, the way they should display that.
I want to read a quote from Roger Ebert, enemy of the show, but he liked this film. He gave the film 3.5 stars out of 4, and he said, Once for Warriors has been praised as an attack on domestic violence and abuse. So it is, but I'm not sure anyone needs to see this film to discover that such brutality is bad. We know that. I value it for 2 other reasons. Its perception is showing the way alcohol triggers sudden personality shifts, and its power in presenting 2 great performances by Morrison and Owen. Tamura Morrison being... obviously Jake, and then is it Racer Owen or
Rhea, I think.
Rhea Owen, who plays the wife. You don't see acting like this in the movies. They bring the Academy Awards into perspective, and I agree. I think both of them were fantastic in this. Like I think just
everyone, Jake, the actor, everybody.
Yeah. Cliff Curtis is in this as well, which I wasn't expecting. I love Cliff Curtis. You're echoing a lot, Prag, right now. Like really loud. Like really loud.
What am I doing? Let me see. Hold on.
I think
see if we can adjust it.
Headphones close to the mic, like when you lean over. So
see how what he does?
It's super hot right now.
Okay. I'll turn down the gain. But see how he yells at us, Dark? That can be a form of abuse too. Did you know that? Control mechanisms of control.
I can hear myself.
Are you calling JC Jake?
But there's a gentler way to remind me to lean back a little bit from the microphone, and I turned the gain down. But I feel like I was immediately
Does
corrected.
that make time, Uncle Bully?
Oh fuck!
No, I don't know. I just feel like I got hit with a newspaper on the nose. Is what I feel like.
That is rough.
You're not supposed to strike a dog, even, and the way you talk to me, you're striking my ear.
Yeah, give me a kiss.
Yeah, please. I want to see it. Try and do it in camera. Like you go up, he goes down. See what I mean?
Lean down.
No, you go down. You go down to the bottom of the
there you
frame,
go.
and then you go up. Yeah,
closer.
there we go.
Again, wait, one more time. Come on.
It's so close.
I didn't get my shot.
You gotta go. You gotta be ready for shots.
You gotta be ready all the time.
But
yeah.
But I don't agree entirely with that that review he gave, because it's one of those things where it's like,
it's not
just because we know something's bad doesn't mean we shouldn't make media highlighting it. Like, for example,
I don't think he's saying that it shouldn't have been made.
Well,
I think he's saying that's
said,
not
like, we all know it's bad, so why do we need a film condemning?
But no, but he's generalizing, because it's not just about, it's about how it specifically permeates to this culture and this.
I don't think he's saying that, Dark. I think he's saying
this like area in the world.
Well, we could also say, why do we need to keep making Holocaust films? Because we all know genocide.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying don't make the film. He's saying it's not about the abuse. It's about the alcoholism that leads to it. I think he's saying don't miss that. But he wouldn't have given it 3.5 stars. He didn't think it should have been made.
I just
no. He loves it. Obviously, he loves the film. Like he loves the performance.
Dark's right. Dark's right.
Yeah,
no, he's not. He hasn't been right in his life.
Yeah,
not once.
Roger Ebert, enemy of the show. Yes.
I mean that's true. I don't like Roger Ebert. After he said "Mommy Dearest" wasn't good, that doesn't make any sense. I love Mommy. Mommy's milk is all I like to drink.
Movie and sometimes, of course, this movie does have a good message, but sometimes legitimate critics can get too caught up in critiquing something when ultimately a movie is made for the enjoyment and to entertain. So
I think he's too in his own environment.
You're abusing this quote. He doesn't saying that.
It doesn't matter.
He's not saying what you think he's saying.
Doesn't matter. Let's move
on. I'm commenting on what he said, not what he thinks he said.
I think you misinterpret what he said. Is that crazy?
Well, then he said it wrong. Then
because you didn't see the beginning and the end. The context is missing, and also the way JC says it is unnerving because JC has a weird speech.
No, I do not. Time. I want to know, Time. Do you think this film goes too far? Like, did you find it to be like? Do you think it's still good despite the fact that it goes scary? It was like, it invokes emotions. I don't think I'd ever watch this again, but I want to know like where you come from with it.
I don't like that kind of shit, bro. It's fucked up.
Aside from the graping scene, I thought this was a comedy.
Well, yeah, I mean, I can see that.
Send your letters
funny.
like chat. Listen, let me
I
explain
can
something.
see that because of the way everyone
wild.
talks.
I want to go back and answer Dark's question because you guys never let me talk. I had this. It's
Brag.
Excuse me.
Excuse
me.
No, but he's still
doing it right now.
Excuse me.
Okay. Right now.
Excuse me. See, they're both doing it right now.
Reclaim your time.
I feel like you bringing up that question about like how you see it at the beginning, and then what it turns into. I think that's kind of the same thing that we all kind of dealt with, or JC. Actually, maybe all of us. For Sinners, where we're expecting something, and then it turns into something else, and you're like, oh shit, whatever. So that was me because they didn't experience that in this movie. I did because I'm expecting that the wife to get hit already, and this got to be crazy, because I had seen that scene. So when I'm just kind of waiting for that to happen, so that was like that kind of colored, I think, my expectation of like, oh, it's probably not going to be the only scene he goes
anticipation,
crazy, whatever. Yeah, is anticipation of it.
Rock hard waiting for that to start.
As far as if it goes too far, I mean,
you love the chaos.
I love chaos, but grape scenes make me uncomfortable when they portray it
as they should. I think they should.
It would be weird if it didn't, dog.
Well, hold on. I think some people are okay with it being portrayed on film to where it explains a story or it's part of the thing. I'm full stop. It shouldn't be in film at all. That's
no, you got to show the reality of the brutality so people get the fucking deal. This is a big problem.
Yeah,
they have to see it sometimes.
It's just such a gross thing to do to another human being that I just out of sight, out of mind.
It's meant to show how bad it is, not how good it is.
I understand that.
The whole
just
point
I just don't
of keeping a scene like that in when, for example, there's an implied scene which is similar, of course. The first time you see Jake the Must beat her up, it's implied that he then goes ahead and does it to her.
Right, yeah.
And they don't show that. But I feel like the decision to leave in the scene with the young daughter was, in my opinion, integral to really push the movie into its complete darkest, in which, of course, she ends up killing herself. And so, without that scene with it just implied, it may not push the story so far into that direction as you can understand why she suddenly kills herself.
If it had to be in the movie, I would have rather they flipped it where the mom, terrible thing, the mom gets it and then it's implied for the daughter. I would have rather had that. But this movie had like two scenes that make me uncomfortable in general, and it would be the grape scene and it would be the hanging scene. I just don't like those two type of
course. The hanging scene is someone killing themselves, so of course.
Right, yeah. I mean, but shots in the head.
Can you say that on Twitch though? In Pal World,
that wouldn't be that impactful to me. But that's like just crazy to me. The hanging part.
Uses
there's movies where people disembowel people. There's movies where people do all kinds of horrible, heinous things.
I can disconnect from that.
They don't want you to disconnect. They want you to connect. No. They want you to say, "Well, fuck, that would be fucked up if that happened to me."
It's a similar way
because I have no way to stop it.
For example, if you have a movie that deals with such a raw issue like this, you can imply it, but in my opinion, I've always found it's important to show it because it highlights the problem that the movie is trying to make a stand against. And if you hide the reality of the situation,
you don't show it all the time, though.
It doesn't mean that it doesn't. Yeah, if you hide the reality of the situation, it doesn't stop it from existing. So to bring attention to it is a way to then tackle it and defeat it, as opposed to
very emotional. Like art is meant to make you feel not always good. It makes you uncomfortable, and that's art as well.
You're supposed to think in the back of your mind and remember this movie, although this may not be based on real life, this happens to people every day, everywhere around the world. So, it's one of those things where you're supposed to think about how abhorrent it is so that you can really try and understand.
Men don't have to worry about it, really. I'm not really worried about it, but every woman has to worry like that. Like every woman has to worry. Like every man generally doesn't really have to worry about that. And so like it's good to like kind of be hit over the head with an issue that forces you to be empathetic to the other half of the human race, you know? And so, you know, I think it's important, but you don't want that in every movie. Like you don't want to, like, this is the thing. You don't want it to become like, oh, every movie has this scene and this scene now, like, because then it loses impact. Because it's so rare to see,
some movies
it makes it more important.
Some movies chuck in violent scenes, or scenes of sexual assault, or scenes
petty.
of violence, randomly, and it doesn't even. The story isn't supposed to. And this is not one of those movies. This movie is supposed to make you think, and supposed to make you feel a little bit uneasy and feel a little bit, not okay with how the movie is portraying it, because that is the point, because it isn't okay.
I want to say that it kind of like brings up an interesting point, because there's a movie that's probably in like my top 10 of all time. It's by a director called Jennifer Kent. She's an Australian director, called The Nightingale. It's set in like colonial Australia, and it's about an Irish nightingale, a singer, and basically she teams up with an Aboriginal man, and it basically goes through like just what happened to both the Irish and the Aboriginal people on account of the English soldiers when they came to Australia. And there's a scene right at the start that kicks off the narrative that is extremely difficult to watch, like just horrifying. But there's no way that like a movie like clearly the movie is like a firecracker. It is angry about what happened to these people. And there's no way you can really do it without showing it. Like the whole narrative doesn't work without that impact. And like it basically sets off like what they have to do from then on, against this basically this English machine that has churned them out, like chewed them up and churned them out. And it's kind of the same thing here. Like I understand the kind of, like, you might feel like it's a bit exploitative. Your mic is really hot, Prag. I can't hear myself talk.
Pragpro's mic's always on.
Is that for the other two? Is that happening as well? How about now? Is this better?
No.
Better now? How about that? Better?
Yeah, I think that's not really. It's just me for some reason.
It's when JC's talking.
How about that?
No, it's you as well.
Is this good?
It is.
Oh, turn the gain down.
I did. It's down to 52 now.
No, but that's all. I'll
I don't
try.
know because like it's not even coming through my headphones, so I don't know what the fuck's happening. My echo cancellation is on, so I'm not doing anything different than I don't do every episode. So
is it on auto gain?
It's really weird.
It's all manual settings.
Because you're like,
that's really weird.
That's weird,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's better now. Right?
Let me turn the phantom power off. How about that? Is that better?
Hello. Yeah. No.
Nope.
No, it's still going.
What if you?
I'll try my best though.
What do you want me to do?
Mute
nothing has changed.
Hit the mute button, Mike.
Okay.
Yeah, try that.
There we go.
That's better. Yeah,
there
so just mute it. Like, yeah. But yeah, as I was trying to say, this film I found was like that. It was like viscerally. I want to say it was viscerally impactful in a way that served what it was trying to say and the narrative it was going for. And yeah, but I think the most impressive thing for me is how it portrayed like emotional manipulation. Like during the scenes where there's the down period where it's not as violent, you still hate this guy because you can tell that he's putting on this like happy dad, happy husband facade.
Yeah.
Even then, it's like not. He still gets pissed about like the smallest things, but he's like obviously holding it back. But it's still manipulative. Like when they're driving in the car and they're all singing, like it doesn't feel like a genuine moment to me. Like maybe with the kids it does, but like between them, like it might feel genuine for her because she's being manipulated. But
I'm just waiting for it to to explode.
Yeah, exactly. Like he doesn't feel like he's genuinely like doing that. It always feels like it's a manipulation.
And that's what the movie does really well.
Really well.
It highlights how, you know, the majority of abusive situations, for, you know, 90% of the time they could be completely fine, you know, fine in quotes. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're not abusive, because they just don't happen to be abusive at this second.
It's a cycle. But they also see the relationship as transactional. Like they think that it's about like getting the most like good points versus bad points. You know what I mean? Like, you know, he beats her up, but then the next day is like, oh, I tried my best. I got, you know, I did this, or I was trying to be nice today, but I can't win, because they see it as like putting points on the board.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Rather than
like, oh, I won some money at the gambling today.
I did a good thing.
Did I beat you? Like,
no, it doesn't. But that's the way he thinks. And there's one moment that actually made me scream at the screen. Not scream, but I yelled at the screen. I literally went, and I don't know if you guys know what point it is, but I literally like was staring at the screen. I was like, your daughter is dead.
Yeah.
And that was when he was sitting at the table with his mates, like while the funeral was going on, and he's going like, oh, what's the key to her, guys? Like, how do I win it? Like, how do I win her? You know, how do I get her back on my good side? And it's like, your daughter's dead. Like, your daughter killed herself, and you're not at the funeral. Like that'd be bare minimum. You know, show up. And he's complaining, like, how do I make her happy? It's like, what are you talking about? Fucking
the scene that I had that similar reaction to, kind of, sort of, or made me angry, was when she did hang herself, and then the mom ran out there to save her, and they all just like kind of go out there, and they're all like kind of just like watching, and I think everyone's kind of frozen in like, you know, like disbelief, whatever. But the dad is just like nothing, just watching, and then one of the guys comes over and immediately grabs like a blade or whatever and cuts her down. Machete. But the entire time, everyone's like, there's a couple people of his friends or whoever's there that are like, that act on it, that try to do something or try to help this and that, whatever. And the entire time he takes 3 steps outside the back door, and he's just standing there.
It's like an inconvenience to him.
Yeah.
That's
he's also numbed out on alcohol too, though.
That's true.
You know, he's fucked up. I mean, he's disassociating. Like, in order to beat a woman up, you have to disassociate. Like, he's out.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's not home anymore. But that's not an excuse. It's pathological.
And then it brings an interesting point, because of course the two main friends he has in the movie, which of course one is Uncle Bully, and the other one is, I can't remember his name, but the other friend he has. And of course the other friend he has, not Uncle Bully. He sort of does stand up to him sometimes, but it's not like, you know, he doesn't actually genuinely, in my situation, I mean, for example, I think I would say for all of us, if you had a best friend who was treating their family like that, would you be friends with the person still? Probably not. You know, it's what I mean.
I'm friends with you.
Like, no matter. Exactly. I mean, if he just continues to do this,
I mean, I'm friends with you.
We're all friends with Dark.
Hold on. Let's.
No, don't do that.
Don't do that to Dark.
He's being so sweet and sincere tonight, and let's him stay there. Otherwise, he's going to return cynical.
You know, that does bring up an interesting question, Dark, because I've asked myself that a couple times in the past. To what extent am I able to bend my friendship morals? You know, like where's the line? And obviously, you know, there's like a code amongst friends, there's a code amongst bros. But I feel like there is a line that you just, like, once someone crosses that, you're kind of like, it's like, do you call them out? Do you just leave? Like,
his line is you know, the other friend's line, of course, when he went to beat up Gracie because she was
the daughter,
missing for the day. And he's like, hold up, that's a kid. No, don't.
Yeah.
What are you doing? And then of course she ends up hanging herself. So I mean, you know,
which it's that's a part too that I'm not confused on, but I am genuinely surprised, where he does, you know, he obviously beats his wife, and then at the beginning of the movie, there's that scene at the bar where there's a lady singing, and then some guy walks up and he puts something on the jukebox, and then he goes over there and like beats him up, whatever. So he doesn't really get a lot of pushback in the film as far as like someone challenging him physically, except for two parts, and it would be the one you mentioned right there with the friend where it's like, hey, she's just a kid, stop. And then
his son right at the end.
At the end, his son like kind of gets in his way,
Which
and I was expecting them to come to blows, but he just like immediately just like whatever. Which I think he could have murdered his son. But the fact that I think someone just challenged him was like, I don't know if it was like shocking to him or if he just was like,
I think he's a coward.
Yeah,
I think that's the point of the movie. Yes, he's a coward fundamentally, and although he is physically strong and he can fight, when people do finally stand up to him. Like, for example, when she tells him she's going to leave, and he's like, I'm going to kill you. He doesn't.
She just leaves.
Like, she says straight to his face, you're a coward.
He only has power within...
I mean, he's mentally ill.
Has power within the house, like, essentially. But yeah,
he's mentally ill, right? Yeah, that's a mental illness. And actually, it fucking changes your brain chemistry. But that's not an excuse, because you have to take accountability for your illnesses regardless of what they came from. But that's also part of it. It's also a part of it. It's like it's like getting concussed constantly. It's damaging his brain. It's making him he's not thinking about what he's going to do. Impulse control, right? All those things are also chemical and physiological, that the changes happen. And that's why like a lot of the things that are around society, like we've tried to prohibit alcohol. That didn't work so great. It's obviously not going anywhere. So like we need to be better as a society, teaching people about it.
Yeah, need better
or something, or dealing with it, because like the fallout from the abuse is the child's dead, the mother's almost getting killed constantly. So
the other surprising thing about this movie for me, I remember you were saying, like, I jokingly had said it should be once were warriors, and then you had said no, the quote from the movie is our ancestors once were warriors. And I go, like, after I found it, like after I worked out like what this movie was going to be about, it was going to be about domestic abuse or something. I was expecting the quote to be coming from Jake, and he was going to use that as like a justification for like his violence or like his kind of toxic masculinity. Like, we once were warriors. You need to stand up, boy. No, that didn't happen. The wife uses it, and she used it in a positive way to say like,
because what's great about this movie is not only does she point it out sort of at the end of the movie, but of course the male mentor of the the Boys Institute also harps on that same thing of it's about being a warrior inside yourself. It's about mentally being a warrior and having the inner strength to live life, essentially to do what to do in life. And that's what makes her quote right at the end so good, is harping back to the idea that it's like, how people once had that resilience and that pride and that, that sense of belonging, and then now we've just become what you see in the movie.
Yeah, I agree. I would say
so that's essentially what the quote was about.
Yeah, and it's great, and I love the way it uses it. I was very surprised, and now that I've watched the movie, there's no other title this movie could have. Maybe our ancestors once were warriors, but it's a little bit long. The other thing I really love is that this movie, like I've seen a lot of movies where a character will die, and there won't be a mourning period at all. Like this movie, like the entire like third act is like a mourning period.
It's all to do with
the funeral. It's all to do with and like the kind of contrast with how he is dealing with the situation horribly. But yeah, and just the kind of fallout after a death, and I was very surprised by that as well. I didn't expect it. I was worried that it was going to be a footnote, like, oh, here's another thing that happened. Because I have seen a few movies. I mean, I loved the Iron Claw. Like I think we reviewed that on the channel. But one of my criticisms of that movie was how it stepped over the deaths so quickly. I felt like sometimes, but no, this movie.
Well, I mean that's because the real climax of this film is the scene where she's rushing through the house, and then you see the camera zoom in to the hanging. That is fundamentally the climax of the that that is the culmination of everything you see in the film leading to someone killing themselves.
And also, like, I mean, it's a small thing, but I really do like when films deal with like the effects of sexual abuse in a realistic way. Like when she goes and hangs out with her best friend, Toot, who lives in a car.
Yeah.
He he thinks it's like a tender moment, and like I think to him it was like an innocent thing, and he goes to kiss her. He felt like that was the moment to do it, but because she'd just gone through that experience, like she straight away is like nah. That's very realistic to what I've
She views him as
heard.
another man who's come to abuse her.
And that's kind of like I've known people who've experienced this thing, like this issue, and that's a very common thing. Like soon afterwards is like you immediately, like affection just becomes like vomit to you, like you
for the rest of their lives. Sometimes it's
sometimes for
PTSD.
the rest of their lives,
It's PTSD. It triggers that recreates the exact same neural pathways that happen when they were being. Right, the same trigger. I mean, that's what a trigger really is. It's a neural network, right? So yeah,
it's a protection,
and there's so many moments.
Protection.
Exactly, there's so many moments in the actual funeral scene where it sort of harps back to what has happened in the movie. For example, the scene where Toot is saying like, this is all I wanted. Like I just wanted an innocent. I'm sorry, like I didn't try to do anything. Of course, you can see he's really kind of about that.
Yeah,
and the brother reminds him that it's not.
She loved you. Yeah, she loved you.
Exactly. It's not your fault. It's not your thing. But of course, Toot will also be then feeling a lot of that guilt to do with, his involvement in what happened. And then even, for example, the big brother, the oldest brother, draping himself over the coffin and saying, I should have been there. I should have been more protecting of you, because as you can see throughout the movie, she was constantly protecting the younger children, and she was constantly protecting her mother and helping her. And the oldest brother feeling that guilt of not being there to return favor, which of course then leads him later on in the film to being closer with his mother and really rekindling that family relationship and being more protective of them, because he obviously feels the guilt of not being able to do that for her.
Yeah, and he cries over the coffin, to his group, that he was involved
touching
with.
Scene.
Yeah, he would have that would have been seen as would have been seen as not masculine if they'd seen that, but he did it anyway. Yeah. I really liked it. I don't have a lot of issues with this film, to be honest. I don't know if you guys have any qualms with this movie. Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Well, we already know what Time has an issue with.
One of my biggest issues
doesn't like
is
poor people.
That's and the Haka cringe.
Right, less Haka. Next time, guys.
100%.
Can we just
Haka.
edit that out? Like we know you do the Haka. You don't have to tell us every time, right?
Get it.
Dark?
We get it.
Do you ever get tired of the Haka and you're like, okay, we know, we got it. That's what we do.
When it's commercialized, yes, but in this movie, the whole point is dealing with.
Always.
I thought the Haka was essential in this movie.
No,
I
mean it had to be there. That was the whole point.
Do you have a Haka that you do, Dark? Ever?
Well, no, because I'm not.
I thought it was a nationalism thing. Well, I've seen
my
sports teams do it.
My issue, and it's my what?
The racist. You can't just say I hate the Haka. Like it's a traditional thing that they have.
No. That's like me saying I hate mariachi bands.
That's wrong. That's wrong. It's crazy.
You can't just
the brutality of these fight scenes are just insane.
Yeah,
like like you see like a John Wick, you see like a Marvel movie, and it's all choreographed, and it's all the shots are cut. Even like old kung fu movies, it's not the same because like it's a dance. It's back and forth. The 3 or 4 fight scenes he had where Jake actually fought someone, and even when he hit his wife, unfortunately, this is a prime example of it. It was one-sided, but it was brutalized. Like he was throwing her against a wall, or when he was fighting his friend in the bar after he learned what he did to his daughter, he slammed his head into it was exactly what you want to see in an action film, but not this film. So it's just so out of place. But it was I don't think I've ever seen that level of like brutality in fighting in a movie. So I didn't like that because it's like, oh, I wish that was in something else. But it was also like super like just aggression, and like just
it really highlights the point of Jake really being an unstoppable force.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously,
and not knowing his own strength as well. I mean, maybe he does know his own strength.
There was I'm glad you brought that up, Dark, about just being unstoppable. It's like you just wind him up and you just let him go and see what happens, whatever. And in the first scene, or not the first when he fights that guy who plays the song on the jukebox, I noticed
the really big dude.
Yeah, he was punching him, and then he did something else, but he was just like, he either like went for like a final punch or he went for a kick, but the guy fell out of the scene, and he just like still went with the motion regardless, and he just kind of like stumbled, and it was like he was just going to go for it regardless. It was just like crazy,
It's the unchecked sheer aggression and like basically going into a blind rage.
It was crazy.
I believed it, and that's a real.
And the fight scenes in this movie were really, really raw.
It made you hate him, and that's what he should do.
I agree. Yeah, 100%. It was brutal. It was hard to watch. So was that a negative or a positive time? It was a
negative because it wasn't like in an action movie, and it was like in this movie. That's like,
do you think that if they did the domestic violence, can I ask you a question? If they did the domestic violence in like a choreographed musical section where they had like ribbons that they would throw at each other and they would do like in an action, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how they make this movie without violence, because otherwise I don't care, and I'm like, oh, this is a melodrama.
Oh no, what he wants is like a kung fu flying kick scene. Where instead of him punching his wife,
wire work,
he like wire flies across the house, and then kicks her.
Well, I think what's funny about what you guys are saying is I think Ty actually wants the opposite. He wants that brutality that's in this film, but in another film. He's mad that it's
film.
Well,
that's what
and what they're saying, both.
You want the Jackie Chan fight scenes.
Just re-edit it.
Like imagine he's swinging at his wife, and she doesn't get hit. She misses her. She rolls away from him. Gets a couple eggs. Throws eggs at him, and he smacks the eggs out of the air into a frying pan.
And would have made it a better movie, right?
What if you green screen like Dr. Doom on her, and it's not it's not his wife anymore? It's Dr. Doom.
If someone can go out there,
right? Just edit it and make it a Marvel movie.
To be Dr. Doom,
and he's he's New Zealand's next hero instead of a villain.
Just replace the wife with Bane, and then Jake is Batman.
Look at Doc. He's not amused. He's not amused.
Can't go home again. Nobody's gonna see this. Nobody watches the show, including you, which is why I'm shocked you're even here.
I've got like 4 people in chat that
no, you don't.
Those are fucking. Here's what Rand said. He said, "JC, the Saudis are not happy with Prag on this program. Want to replace him with Dark." Listen, I'm up for that. I'm up for that.
The Saudis like to make money.
We're selling to the Saudis. No,
let's send him over there.
I do also want to say, this is. We're also live on Kick, so you don't see these comments. But Ram says, "Why does Dark look like he's in court or stuck in a processing room?"
Right,
which I think
looks like he's in a fucking.
That's what it looks like. Yeah.
Stuck in a what?
Stuck in
court. Looks like he literally looks like Drake Bell on that like video cam when he was. You know what I'm talking
say,
about,
he's in a comfort inn. He's a divorced dad. He hasn't found an apartment yet, and he's living there. And it's like the 7th month.
I have had to find a quiet room to do this podcast in because I'm on a ship. I'm on a ship with a couple thousand other guests. You can't just sit up in the. You can't just go. It's currently dinner time actually as well.
Are you in your room?
Stop
or are you
crying.
In a
It's no. I'm in a. I can show you. Here we go. I'm in
a
computer room. I'm gonna
Oh,
watch it
look
tomorrow.
at
Look at
There's
that.
no one there. Look crazy.
Nobody's
That's so
there.
cool.
Why?
And well, because it's dinner time. It's dinner time, and I'm skipping my
You picked
dinner
the
to
right
be here.
time.
Oh,
Is
what
it
a
like
guy.
Wall-E? You know that
Legend.
movie Wall-E? Is it like that except in the sea? On
A
that,
little bit,
like
a
everyone's
little
just
bit.
like thinking about the next meal,
Everyone's
Have you
just
seen-
raising
raising-
like a little
It
wheelchair.
is. It
right?
is a little
And like
bit
getting
like that.
fucking.
Have you seen the movie Triangle of Sadness? That's a crazy movie. Set on.
I thought that's what this show was. Triangle of Sadness.
Well, there's no guess. Yes, Triangle of Sadness.
This
Yes.
is a rectangle of sadness right
Yeah.
now.
I mean, true.
But no, I want to know. Do we have anything else that we want to talk about
think
before
we're
we get
good.
to final thoughts?
No,
Only
Dark.
rule
We,
is-
we have changed the final thoughts format. So I need you to.
All you have to
affirmate
think about is keep it under 2 minutes. Like just
keep it
like,
under 15
aim-
seconds.
I have a
2
timer.
minutes.
Aim
Yeah,
for
I
that's
2
fine.
enforced
Don't
it.
time it.
No,
Don't
it's-
time it.
Yeah,
Don't
we
time
are going to time it.
it. Don't time
Yeah,
it.
they time it.
Okay,
They time
final
it.
No, you
thoughts.
told me to time it because you were the one who brought it
No,
up.
no, no.
Jason.
That
Now
was
we're going to
just
solve the problem.
That was
I think
just
the final
a
thoughts
test.
should be as
Three,
long as
two,
it takes.
one.
How
That's what I
long
said.
you go for?
That's what
Who
I
wants
said.
to go first?
Okay, go.
I'll go first.
I won't
feel
time
like
it. I
this
promise,
is a
JC.
violation of the First
Nope, you
Amendment
can't go.
rights.
3,
He's right,
2,
he's right, he's right.
1, go.
I thought this movie was uncomfortable to watch, and it really showed like the dark parts of I don't want to say their culture, but like just like the dark parts of humanity in general. I don't think it should be shown anywhere. I don't think people should watch it. I think it's low-key kind of a boring movie besides that. But it's I mean, I think it's just uncomfortable to watch.
Hot take.
Yeah. I didn't like what Boba Fett was doing to his wife. I thought Boba Fett would never do that.
Django,
And I also think
Django would.
well,
So
also
he's
Boba Fett.
Django and Boba.
He's both.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I also
Django
think-
would.
Oh, Django would, yeah.
Yeah.
Django Unchained. That's right. Yeah. And I think Boba Fett is one of the most overrated characters in Star Wars. So I'm going to give
Agreed.
this a 55 out of 100.
That's a low
That's-
score. That's a low
I see my
That's
time.
score.
really
I see my
harsh.
time. I see my time.
I'm gonna
All
go
right, who's
next.
next?
I'm gonna go next. Time.
That was great. You were right on
Um,
time. 60 seconds. Perfect.
Good
Almost.
job. Good job. All right.
Wow.
So I love this film. I think anyone. I'm completely the opposite of Dom. I think everyone should see this film. I think it should be shown
You called me dark.
maybe in high school. Maybe in high school, like year 12. I probably wouldn't show it earlier than that. It's pretty. Some pretty heady stuff, but I think that's a good time to show it. But no, it reminds me a lot of a lot of Australian films that I grew up watching in high school that kind of deal with similar like issues of culture and like how they permeate and poverty and how those permeate. I think that I also agree that Boba Fett is one of the most overrated Star Wars characters, maybe the most overrated Star Wars character. I don't know why they made a whole show about him. It was awful. And also, Tamora Morrison is bad in that show. Like, he's not good. I'm sorry, man. But I did like him as Aquaman's dad. I thought that was cute. But no, this is a good movie. I'm looking forward to more movies that you bring on the show, Dark. I'm going to give this I'm going to be a Prag and give this a 90.
What was his time at?
Who's next?
Oh, he's muted.
He's muted.
Pragpro
He's
movies.
muted. You're next.
That was perfect, JC.
Oh,
You
okay.
had, I think, 20 seconds to spare, so that's perfect. We don't want to be early and we don't want to be late. We want to hit that
You're
fucking
welcome,
90
Marky.
perfectly. Ready?
Yeah.
I think this is the problem. Like, the news doesn't show the cars that are not on fire. Why? Because the problems that need to be addressed need to be addressed, and the only way you can impact people to get their attention sometimes is to say in a way that they can't ignore. And it's kind of an agitation style of art. But I think the way that this was constructed was very beneficial because it was coming from the community. And I thought, besides that, the acting performances were really wonderful. I love, like, you get to see a part of the world you don't get to see very normally. JC, that's toxic when I'm performing my summary.
Derailed,
And now
derailed.
I should reclaim the time that I had to take for
Keep
correcting
going.
you.
Keep going. Keep going.
Accept-
No,
I accept
okay,
that, I
so
accept
like
that.
I think this is the kind you have to see these things, and like like nobody's celebrating. Is this the thing? Are you celebrating it or are you condemning it? And then there's also avenues of change that they illustrate in this film too. It's not just like this is the dead end and like we're all fucked and like it's just going to end this way. No, there's hope, and that's what you also have to have with something like this. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm going to give it an 86.
Nice.
5 seconds to spare.
Good job.
Okay,
Good job.
so
And you know what, JC? That was very toxic.
That was a joke. I was
super
joking. It was a joke.
But you know we have a hard 90 and like make a joke when we have free time.
Calm down. It was a joke.
1991.
Reclaiming my time.
DarkBMX, your next. I'm sorry.
I have no clue what you mean by 90. You have a 90?
90 seconds.
90 seconds.
90 seconds. Well, I'll start off by saying that it's a violation of the First Amendment to cut the time shorter than it needs to be. It is also not a good thing when it comes to a review because the review takes as long as it takes. It takes no longer, it takes no less. It takes as long as it will take. So I will start with my final thoughts.
I agree with you.
I think it's a movie that everyone should see. I don't agree that it's a movie that no one should see. I think it's a movie that everyone should see to help understand. And then obviously a movie that people should go into it expecting to, have, you got to take it seriously. It is a very serious subject. It's not a movie that I think needs to be, plastered everywhere, but it is a movie that I agree sort of slightly with JC. It's something that is better in like a media studies class or a sociology study class, something which you can look at it and sort of analyze it more in that sense. I thought the acting was actually really good for, quite a low budget film, to be honest. The sets were great and sort of the design of the movie was all great. And the story overall was, in my opinion, one of the best stories that tackles with domestic abuse and, alcoholism and poverty and all of that sort of thing. For that reason, I would personally give it maybe an 84, is my opinion.
That's a good opinion, Doc.
And now my time
is an 84.
This
is like that's great. Okay,
I get the high.
Are we using the different scales? I think I have to add 20 to his score, right? Does New Zealand use the same scale as Australia?
The same Australia
okay,
score,
so I understand. That's fine. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, I also wanted to mention the director of this movie, Lee Tamahori. He made a Bond movie. He made Die Another Day with Pierce Brosnan.
Yes.
Is that good? I haven't seen
it. He's made a few big movies.
Yeah.
I don't remember it. Is that good, JC? If you can't remember the movie?
It's a good point.
He's made A Long Kin of Spider.
Is that The Devil's Double as well?
Die Another Day.
He directed
he made Next
State of the Union.
McCage.
He made
he knows action. Because you were talking about you want to see action, well then you see those movies because it's the same director. So maybe I don't know if State of the Union has the same level though.
And he made the 2018 film.
This is a little bit of
he's trying to cut it short.
Next week.
That's a good point. All right. Next week.
What are we watching next week?
Next week is Pragpro's birthday.
Oh, that's right. You know what? Let's just let him go. We're gonna watch A Tale of Two Kitties next week.
That's next week. I thought those 2 weeks.
Oh, really?
And the 21st.
Oh wait, no.
That's in 2 weeks. Yeah.
What are we watching?
No. Okay,
next is a double feature.
Oh, I'm gonna reveal
it's
this.
always a double feature now.
So it's my friend Abobi. She's coming on the show to talk about. It's a double feature of 2 movies. These are so. I'm trying to keep this brief. But
wait, hold on. A double feature of 2 movies. So it's just 2 movies, right?
Just 2 movies. Yeah. They're both about 90 minutes long. Okay, so my friend Abobi, she has made me watch a lot of trash movies, like like trash romance movies on Netflix, like your Kissing Booth, your I'm trying to think of another one.
It's not trash.
To all the boys I've loved before. Can you think of anything else?
Shit.
365 Days. That one's really bad.
I love that shit.
SPF 18. But she showed me this one movie that falls into this category, that, and it's the first time I've watched one where I've gone, I actually think this is genuinely great. And it's a movie called Beautiful Disaster, starring Dylan Sprouse. And she's picked this movie, and she's picked the sequel, Beautiful Wedding, as well, which came out in 2023. So we're doing a double feature. We haven't seen Beautiful Wedding, but Beautiful Disaster is a film that she really wants to talk about on the show. And Beautiful Wedding's a bit of a wild card. So we'll see if it's any good. But yeah, those are the two movies we're watching: Beautiful Disaster and Beautiful Wedding. I think it'll be really interesting. I think they're on Netflix, yeah, or they're on Amazon. They're on one of the two. But if they're not, I'm excited.
No, I love that when we see genres that we don't normally get to see.
And I think everyone's wrong about it. Like, I've seen reviews of it, but we'll get to it next week. I won't spoil my thoughts on it. But yeah.
Is Frodo going to be here next week too, or is he going to be still sailing towards Rivendell?
He's going to be.
No, my next guest spot will probably be in another 2 years when.
Nah.
Well, James, this is the thing, Dark. If you watch the show, you could visit with us once a week or even more.
I don't watch podcasts.
Well, there you go. So, you know what I'm saying? So we have a paradox, right? It's
no. I watch movies. I don't watch podcasts. I watch movies, and that's why.
Well, maybe we should make a movie.
That's why I'm on the show is because I watch movies.
Maybe I'll make a movie.
Might have to be put on something else for Prag to watch.
Yeah, that's right.
Why?
And then it's not on anything.
What the fuck is going on out here?
Wedding is on Hulu for us at least.
Oh, I don't have Hulu, bro. Like, how many shits do I have to have, dog?
Just stream it illegally.
I hate the bifurcation and balkanization of media. I hate it.
Legally.
Just stream it illegally. That's what I do.
Legally.
Yeah, legally.
Don't worry about it, Bilbo. Don't worry, Bilbo. We'll figure it out.
Let's go.
We don't have to say it. You're like, oh, just steal the car. You know, obviously we're gonna steal the car.
Come on, Doc.
Jesus Christ! You can't even do a fucking crime correctly.
Everybody. Bye.
You're supposed to steal it illegal.